Physics Blender. I love 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 Physics Blender. Subscribe for more videos.
Question number 6, we have light passes into a glass block, which is the angle of refraction. Okay, you have to follow the arrow. You have here the arrow, so incident ray. Here the arrow when it enters another medium glass block. So here is the refracted ray. Again, one more time, the definition of the angle of refraction, it's the angle between the refracted ray and the normal. Here is the normal. So the angle between the refracted ray and the normal is angle A. So the answer for this one is A. Okay, let's move to question 7. Question 7, we are discussing critical angle, the relation between angle of incidence, angle of critical angle. What is the relation between angle of incidence and critical angle? We have 3 cases. Let's revise what are the cases before we read the question. If angle of incidence, and here we have the critical angle. Okay, we have 3 cases. Okay, the angle of incidence could be less than critical angle, or equal to the critical angle, or greater than critical angle. What happens in each case? If the angle of incidence is less than the critical angle, so refraction takes place. The ray will be refracted in air away from the normal. If the angle of incidence is exactly equal to the critical angle, the ray will be refracted at the boundary, and we call this critical case. Okay? If the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, we call this total internal reflection. Okay guys, so it's a good chance to revise all the cases we have. Back to our question, which arrow correctly showing the direction of the ray after it leaves the edge of the glass? Okay, here you have to follow the arrow. Number 1, the light ray is passing from denser medium to air which is less dense medium. Okay, the angle of incidence I here is mentioned in the question that it's bigger than the critical angle. So we are having here the third case, which is total internal reflection, which means the ray will be totally internally reflected in the denser medium. So the answer is D. Is it clear? Back to the question, you have to relate the angle of incidence to the angle of to the critical angle. According to this relation, compare the values, you can find your correct answer. Okay, question number 8, which diagram showing a ray of light incident at the critical angle on air glass boundary? Okay, here incident at the critical angle, which means angle of incidence and critical angle, if you compare, they are equal to each other. So how the light ray will behave as it travels from denser medium to less dense medium? In this case, it will be refracted at the boundary. Change its direction, but it will not emerge in air. it will be refracted at the boundary. And in this case, the angle of incidence, we call it critical angle. It's also a good chance to revise the definition of critical angle. Simply, if you understand, you can express in your own words, just use scientific terms and correct terminology, okay? What is the critical angle? It's an angle of incidence. As you see in the diagram, it's an angle of incidence. Where you can find this, the location of this angle in the denser medium. So it's the angle of incidence in the denser medium corresponds to an angle of refraction 90 degrees in the less dense medium. Okay? So again, critical angle is an angle of incidence located in the denser medium and corresponds to an angle of refraction 90 degrees located in the less dense medium.
Subscribe for more videos. I love physics splendor. I love physics splendor. I love physics splendor. I love physics splendor. I love physics splendor.